So let's address some of the many elephants in the room. Yeah, you're on a coffee table that's full of plants. This is a plant right here. You're balanced on a plant stand. My closet doesn't have doors, and most of my clothes are still in boxes. Those are the few items I circle through, including my Miami Dolphin City. Shout out, fins up. And yeah, that is a Duck Dynasty poster on the wall. Sometimes you have to move back in with your parents when you're 25, and then you turn 26 a few months later. Regardless, you're in your mid 20s, mid to late 20s, approaching 30, and you have to move back in with your parents because sometimes life doesn't go according to plan. Sometimes you're in a living situation that's so bad that you will do anything to escape, even if that means moving back in with your parents because you can't afford rent anywhere else because rent is skyrocketing, despite the fact that landlords, the scum of the earth, some may say, will charge you an arm and a leg and your literal firstborn child to provide you with nothing in a rat-infested and or cockroach-infested home. And you cannot do that physically, emotionally, mentally. That's just not in the cards for you. So you move back in with your parents, and thankfully your parents are willing to house you and are chill enough at their current ripe old ages to leave you alone for the most part. And you are mature enough now to get over the teenage angst that you once carried for your parents and realize they're just people. Sometimes your dad has a stroke and then you're worried about his health and you're like, hey, if there's ever a time I need to move back in with my parents, it's when my ailing father, who is getting real up there in age, has a serious health condition or serious health event that threatens his life. And you're like, okay, yeah, fine, I'll spend time with my dad. And that's just kind of the circumstances. All this to say, yeah, there's a Duck Dynasty poster on the wall. Yeah, this room is a mess because it's mostly stuff from my brothers when they lived here. And that's kind of it. Hi, hello, welcome to Chaos Central Books. My name is Claire, and today I have a reading vlog for you. Maybe reading vlog is too strong. I have an attempt at a reading vlog. I ran a poll on my community tab a bit ago at this point, asking what book you guys would like to see a reading vlog of. And then I didn't film one, or at least I tried to film one during the week, but I wasn't reading. The whole reason I wanted to do a reading vlog was because I have not been able to focus on a book, like, at all. It's been really bad. So that didn't happen last week, but it's going to happen this week. And I'm thrilled to report that I have a new phone. So production value is skyrocketing. That means this mic works on my phone, so I don't have to film on my laptop anymore. The audio quality, the video quality, everything's better. Everything except my ability to read a book has improved. The people voted, and we're reading Elena Knows. I think last week I read this over 3 days, and I'm on page 22, so not looking good. This book is 143 pages, and I've read 22 of them so far. So at this rate, I'll finish it by the end of the month. Who knows? I would like to finish it, ideally, during this vlog this week, so I have a video to post on Saturday. Otherwise, not a lot to report. I will now send you back in time to show you the few clips I managed to record when I was reading this last week, and then I'll see you in the future, which is right now. Wow, weren't those clips exciting? The power of editing, people. I will continue reading this week and hopefully film some clips. It's actually been really garbage today, weather-wise, and I'm fearing that it'll be like this for the rest of the week as well, which is unfortunate. I don't know, something about it being rainy just hinders my mood. Other things to report. I started a new embroidery project, which I would like to show you people, but it is a gift for a friend who does watch these videos, unfortunately, and I don't want her to see it until it's done. But just know I'm doing something. Embroidery was my pandemic hobby that I picked up because I needed to do something with my hands so I wasn't on my phone for 24 hours a day. And I'm feeling that way now. I can't get off my phone. It's really bad. So I need to do something with my hands. And I wish I did like knitting or crocheting or something when I had all that time, because I would love to like make a fish sweater. I taught myself embroidery in the pandemic and I can't make a fish sweater out of embroidery, unfortunately. So I'm doing small projects for friends. And those are the updates. I'm going to go maybe do something productive now. One last thing, actually, that I wanted to mention. It's Hispanic Heritage Month. Hispanic Heritage Month runs from September 15th to October 15th. Claudia Pineiro, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I took French in high school and I was bad at pronouncing those words too. She's an Argentinian author. So happy coincidence that I decided I wanted to read this and the people voted on it. I was unaware of when Hispanic Heritage Month was, but then I saw a bunch of information on Instagram popping up, which I'm happy to spread to the good people. If you watched my last video on reading habits I admire, I talked about how I really respect people who diversify their reading, and this is one of those instances. I think people who read for Hispanic Heritage Month, Women in Translation Month, Black History Month, all of those things, I feel like are good reminders for people to decolonize their bookshelf in a way. I hate to warn you guys, but I have to talk about football again. Week 3 is over. It's not really over. I'm filming this on Monday and we still have the Ravens-Lions game, but the outcome of that won't really impact anything. It should be a good game though. Better than the Sunday night stink fest that was Giants versus Chiefs. That Chiefs at Giants, whatever you want to call it, who cares? It was a boring game and I turned it off. Watching Chiefs football is unbearable. There's a lot of people talking about ban the tush push, and I've listened to the multiple arguments. The most popular ones seem to be that it is not entertaining football or it's hard to officiate consistently. To that, I would say, maybe you should train your refs better. Maybe they should be better at officiating. It doesn't seem like a problem of the play. It seems like a problem of the officials. Sorry, I'm not even an Eagles fan. I don't care. But for the argument that it's not entertaining football, have you guys watched the Chiefs play football? It is. I've never been entertained. I've only been annoyed or bored. What I really want to talk about, there are 6 teams that are 0-3. 6 big losers, and I would like to talk about them. 2 of them are in the NFC, and quite frankly, I feel like people didn't really have expectations for those teams. One of them is the New York Giants, and I feel like New York football fans, you know not to have expectations for your team. Who cares? The other, the Saints. Again, people did not have expectations for them, so the fact that they are one of the games they were like in it, they didn't look that terrible. They've at least scored points in each of their games, you know. I feel like that's a small win. The other 4 teams are in the AFC. 2 of them, again, people didn't really have expectations for, which are the Titans. Although Cam Ward, I feel like, is giving some hope for their team. And the other is the New York Jets, which, again, you can't have expectations for New York football. Although in the first week against the Steelers, they looked pretty good. And then poor Justin Fields got decimated by the Buffalo Bills. Although week 3 versus the Bucks, I really thought they were going to pull one out. I was like, do you mean to tell me the Dolphins are going to be the only team in the AFC East that doesn't have a win? And that's going to just like break my heart. But it didn't happen. Can always count on the Jets to lose a game in typical Jets fashion. And you can always count on the Bucks to win a game in typical Bucks fashion. That was crazy. Baker Mayfield may be blessed by God. That man's trajectory is incredible. Finally, the 2 teams I want to talk about in the AFC, the biggest losers, the Miami Dolphins, my beloved Miami Dolphins, but they're not actually the biggest loser. The biggest loser of football this season is the Houston Texans. What's going on with them? I think CJ Stroud's O-line hates him. I think they want him dead. It's really bad. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like they are a bigger disappointment than the Miami Dolphins, and that is the only thing I can hang my metaphorical hat on, because at least the Dolphins don't look like that. The Dolphins were at least competitive in 2 of their 3 games, and the Texans kind of were competitive against the Jags, but like the Jags also suck. I hate to watch the Jags play. Trevor Lawrence, what's going on with him? All this is to say, I can't stop talking about football, and I'm so sorry. I was literally watching, this was during week 2, I was watching a game with my dad and my brother, and I was talking because I cannot shut up. And my dad's like, what's wrong with you? Like, do you have money on this or something? I'm like, no, I will never bet on football. Like, I don't gamble. I don't play fantasy football. If you want me to manage your fantasy football team, let me know, because I know way too much. I'm just in it for the love of the game. That is more embarrassing. That's more embarrassing. My sister keeps asking me if this is a bit, and I'm like, girl, no, I wish it was. This is so embarrassing. Seriously. Like, if I could empty my brain of football and basketball knowledge, what could I accomplish? Who knows? The matcha has been obtained. I have been trying to recreate my local coffee shop's grilled peaches matcha, which is peach syrup and brown sugar cinnamon syrup. So I made both of those, and I've been trying to find the right combination, and I feel like I finally nailed it. Unfortunately, the peach syrup I made is just like not very strong. It's a very mild flavor, so that's been a struggle. Maybe next time I make it, I'll use like more peaches or something. I don't know. I feel like it's not going to be remade for a while. I feel like that's a very summer thing, but here we are in fall. I've got fall Snoopy Jazz on the TV, and I'm fully in fall mode. Today, the Booker shortlist gets announced, and I really have no stake in the Booker Prize this year. I've been trying to make my way through Misinterpretation, The Loneliness of Sonia and Sunny, Love Forms. I'm trying to think of what other ones. Oh, Flashlight. I've picked up a lot and I've made very little progress. The most progress I've made is in the audiobook of Misinterpretation. I'm about halfway through that one. And I feel nothing for this book. None of the books on the long list that I've read so far have jumped out to me one way or another. And that's kind of disappointing. Every year that I've attempted the Booker so far, I found like one new book to love, and that just hasn't been an occurrence this year, which is unfortunate. On the bright side, that means I'm not going to be super annoyed when whatever makes the shortlist or whatever wins, because watching Percival Everett get snubbed not once but twice hurts. I was talking to Lindsay about this on Instagram, and I was like, thank God he didn't release a book this year, because I wouldn't be able to handle it a third time. Booker Prize judges, let me on your panel. Let me be a Booker Prize judge. I will read all the books, and then Percival Everett will get my vote anyway. I read absolutely nothing of Elena Knows yesterday. I listened to a little bit of my audiobook of Misinterpretation, and then unfortunately it was football. I wish I was a different person. I wish I had a better control of how I spend my time, but it's just not the reality. Until now, today, I need to lock in and read a book. That's all I have to say. So for the next 2 hours until the shortlist is announced, I just want to lock in and read a book. So welcome to the update. Yesterday I think I read 4 pages maybe. I'm now on page 28, so that's exciting. It's so funny to do a reading vlog and all of the updates are just, hey, didn't read. I am feeling under the weather and it is pouring rain outside. So what better day to do nothing aside from finish a book for once? That is the update. I'm starting to enjoy it. The writing style is different. There's not a lot of paragraph breaks. There's no quotation marks. It's very interesting grammatically in that sense, but just starting to learn the characters, just starting to learn the stakes. There is a mystery, so hopefully that will keep me going. But like I said, this book is short. I should be able to finish it. What have I been doing instead? Not that. I listened to a little bit more of Misinterpretation yesterday, and then got really deep into YouTube this morning. Instead of doing anything productive, I was catching up on all my podcasts that I didn't listen to yesterday, including a lot of sports related podcasts. Shout out Sports Ball, my new favorite football podcast, specifically because one of the hosts is a Dolphins fan, so that piques my interest. But I started a new embroidery project for my friend, which will be a gift for her birthday, and she doesn't watch these videos, so I can show it. It's going to be a hydrangea, which is her favorite flower. So I have one little square done. That's going to take me a while. So I've been doing that while I listen to my podcast, and maybe I will do that as I listen to an audiobook later today. But I would like to, let's set goals. Goal setting is always good. I'm currently on page 28 out of, I think this book is 143 pages. Yes, 143 pages, not including the afterword. Let's say I want to get to page 60 today. I feel like that's 32 pages. That's not a lot. Minimum to page 60. Ideally, page 100. I'll check back in if I reach either of those goals or if I fail miserably. Either way, I gotta get something together because I need to put out a video. So, go team. Guys, I have horrifying news. I just found a spider. Do you see that? Why are you in my home? I'm sure he serves value, and I don't want to kill him or remove him because maybe he's taking care of other more nefarious bugs. But I would love if you didn't reside on my plants. It's upsetting to me. What's up, party people? So it's Thursday. Yesterday, I said my goal was to get to page 60 of Elena Knows. That was my low goal. High goal was page 100. I started on page 28. Who wants to place bets on how many pages I read? The answer is under 10. I got to page 35. It's just so funny to be like, hey guys, here's the update. The update is there is no update. No progress has been made. I don't know what was wrong with me yesterday. Of course, I did some Googling. I was feeling dizzy and I had like this weird ringing in my ears. Anyway, I was feeling unwell. So of course I do some Googling and the internet says, could just be stress and anxiety. I'm like, okay, normal for me. And then the other half was like, could be brain tumor, which not normal and not good. And you know what's not good for somebody who has stress and anxiety? Telling them possibility of a brain tumor. I'm actually not that worried about it. If I have a brain tumor, what am I to do about it? Anyway, all that to say, I made no progress yesterday, but I will make progress today because I'm feeling better. Also, this is so sad, guys. Totally unrelated for anything. We have 5 outdoor cats. They were strays, and we fed them, and we kept feeding them because we support our strays around here. And one of them has an injured paw right now, and I nearly broke down in tears watching her not even limp. It's progressed from limping. She's now hopping. She doesn't want to put weight on her paw, and I feel terrible. And I'm like, how do I help you, you poor thing? I inspected the toe beans. There's nothing like sticking out of the paw. There's nothing in it. I don't know if she like sprained her wrist or something. Is that something a cat can do? But heartbreaking. So I may just like sit on the porch with the cats and just kind of like chill out there later and read. Other news. Oh, yesterday I posted my reaction to the Booker shortlist. Thank you for all the support in that video. It's so fun to see other people have the same reaction I do, to be like, the Booker judges are off their rockers. Also, apologies. I don't know if anyone else watches Hive Mind. I'm a big Hive Mind head, and they do apology music whenever one of them says something stupid, and sometimes I feel like I should be issuing some apologies with apology music. Anyway, apologies to Matthew Broderick fans. I wasn't trying to shade him by saying, has he done anything culturally relevant? I was letting everyone know that I don't know what's culturally relevant. So that's on me for, he was the voice of Simba in The Lion King. That's on me for not knowing that. That's crazy to me. Of course, like anything musical theater, I am unaware of because no culture. The movie Election, for some reason, to me, that predates Ferris Bueller. It makes no sense. He is obviously older in that movie. I don't think I even watched that full movie. I think I tried it and I didn't like it when I was a child because I was obsessed with Ferris Bueller. Still am obsessed. It's in my top 4 on Letterboxd, if anybody cares. Apologies to Matthew Broderick fans. Apologies to people who like The Rest of Our Lives by Ben Markovits. I haven't read it yet, but something about that book tells me I'm not going to like it. Somebody described it as The Male All Fours by Miranda July, and I hated that book. And the only reason to make me hate it more is if it's about a man. So I'm just like real hesitant. Sorry to the publisher also for approving me for that digital art. I do want to read it, and I will give it my best faith effort because it's on the Booker shortlist. So I'm not trying to be a hater, I swear to God. Other apologies I need to issue. Probably just the whole Booker Prize committee. Sorry for being like a downer. Apologies to people who take the Booker Prize seriously and like do their research and their homework. I show up reading 3 of the 13 books on the list and thinking I have a right to an opinion. Apologies to people who watch this channel and who are bombarded by my football commentary every week. I feel like that's good on apologies for now. Stay tuned for next week's video when I'll probably have more apologies. I'm gonna go read a book now. Good update. Sup, book people? I'm here for my Friday morning update. I have made it to page 51 in Elena Knows, and quite frankly, I just have to finish this book today because this video, the one I'm currently recording, has to go up tomorrow. So I have less than 100 pages left, and I can read that in a day, especially if I get off my phone. And that's the lesson of this whole video. I cannot vlog because I'm glued to my phone. There's a lesson in that, surely. Maybe I will learn in the future to do better, or maybe I'll learn to not do reading vlogs. I don't know. Also, I realize I've never told you what this book is about. If you're new here, I hate a synopsis. I don't want to know what a book is about before going in, so I tend not to tell details to other people who may be like me, who are maybe not like me. I don't know. What I can tell you, this follows our main character, Elena, who is grieving the loss of her daughter. Everyone's telling her daughter committed suicide, but she does not believe it, so she's on the hunt to figure out what really happened to her daughter. This book is really haunting so far. Obviously, it's devastating because she lost her daughter. It's a novel about grief in that way, but it's also a novel about grief in the sense that our main character is suffering from Parkinson's. So it's her grieving her lack of autonomy, her lack of mobility, a lot of grief. Very sad. So it's a lot of layers of grief in this, and all of it very sad. Very devastating. It's well written, if that's not clear. The reason I'm taking so long is not because of any flaws in this book. It's because of flaws in my own brain. So don't take my slowness as a sign that like you shouldn't pick this book up. But yeah, I am enjoying it so far, and I look forward to finishing it today because I need to give myself a hard deadline at this point. I'm like procrastinating my own fun reading. I'm sick in the head, guys. Also, I wanted to say the other day, I think it was Tuesday, I started Northwoods by Daniel Mason. I started it on audio, and I did not like the audiobook. I don't know what was going on, but my brain was like, this book isn't fun. But I know so many people who have read and loved this book that I feel like that cannot be my reality. So I quit the audiobook, returned it to the library, and now I'm just going to pick this up next. So this is where we're going next once I finish one book. I've not been sold on it so far, but I'm hopeful that once I physically read it instead of listening to it, I will feel differently. Because again, if so many people I know and trust love this book, I feel like me not liking it is a personal failure. Is that too much pressure to put on myself to like a book? I don't know. I want to like this book and I want to give it a fair shot. So I'm not going to let the audiobook hold me back. So those are my reading updates. Trying to think of what else. I'm still like halfway through the Misinterpretation audiobook, not making very much progress there. I'm just not feeling attached to that. And again, I don't know if that's the audiobook part or maybe it's just like the book part. I haven't actually known anybody to like Misinterpretation from the Booker long list. So would love to get my hands on Seascraper. Somebody left a very thoughtful comment about The Land in Winter on one of my videos. Truthfully, my perspective on that book has changed. I'm now excited to read The Land in Winter. I've been sold. So whoever that person is, thank you very much. And I am looking forward to that book coming out in the US, which I do believe is after the Booker winner is announced, which is unfortunate, but not much I can do about it. The prize is based in the UK. So okay, last thing. Embroidery update. I finished one color and then half of a leaf, and that's where we're at. So I might finish the leaves and then go back to doing the blue. But there's like 5 different shades of blue, and this is one of the 5 that is done. So 4 more colors to go. That's been an embroidery update. Now I should read a book because this is supposed to be a reading vlog, right? Yeah. Fantastic news, people. I've reached page 100 in this book. Hold the applause. I have read more today than I have throughout the entirety of this reading vlog. How is that possible? I have no idea. I think what it says about me is that I need a hard deadline in order to reach any sort of goal. And the deadline being, I have to have this done. I need to finish the book today so I can post this video, the one that you're currently watching, tomorrow being Saturday. So that's where we're at. I will say overwhelmingly feeling mostly sad. This book is sad, but I also think it explores a really interesting mother-daughter dynamic that I don't see explored elsewhere in literature, which is very interesting. So feeling good, feeling hopeful that this will be a positive reading experience. And that's all I have to say. I am hopeful that I will be able to finish this book by the end of today. And that's kind of the update. Who needs a tripod when you can just balance your phone on a plant? But I just finished Elena Knows, and this book is kind of incredible. This book is doing so much more than what its page count would suggest, and I'm not just saying that because my brain fog wouldn't allow me to read it quickly this week. The way this book explains such a complicated, nuanced mother-daughter dynamic while also tackling so many other subjects. This book is about bodily autonomy in more ways than one, and I really appreciate that. I also really appreciated the religious aspects of this book. I wasn't expecting the amount of religious criticism that's in this book. I thought it was really well done. Overall, this is just a really well done, well written book. And if you're looking for a good book, like I always am, I would recommend it. My major complaint is with the formatting. Bring back paragraph breaks in literature. I don't know who started it. I'm gonna blame Sally Rooney for a bit. I don't know what's going on. Why are we doing pages of text with no paragraph breaks? I think that's lunacy. We need a break, guys. We need to unionize to get back paragraph breaks and quotation marks. Why are we doing dialogue without quotation marks? Why are we doing pages of text with no paragraph breaks? These are the hills I will die on. So, but otherwise, again, a really well-written book. Would recommend it. And I think everybody should read it, especially like this time of year. If you're looking for a book for Hispanic Heritage Month or spooky season, I mean, this is really haunting, really devastating. So I would consider it horrific. Consider this with my seal of approval. And I think that's where I'm going to end this vlog. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, if you stuck through the nonsense, the lack of reading, the football talk, really appreciate it. If you have read this book and want to talk about it in the comments, please do. Would love to talk to other people who have read this one. Or if you've read other books by this author, let me know where I should go next. I do have Time of the Flies, so maybe I should just jump right in. I don't know. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye.